Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. AJ's got a bit of a cold, so my voice is going to be even worse than normal. Hopefully it's bearable to listen to. Okay, so we have started the morning with a bit of a bang. I was going to take this first trade earlier today, but I was too busy setting up the stream, so I sort of missed it. But anyway, this was the move if you're up early enough, straight off the previous day value low. Let me let me just double check my settings. Anyone who's followed me knows that I automate my my levels using an indicator I've built, but it's sometimes slightly off because I think it uses TradingView uses ticks for their FRVP, fixed range volume profile, and mine I haven't got the ability to use ticks using their built-in objects that I use for setting up the indicator. So it can sometimes be out a little bit, so I've got to go and do a double check, which is what I'm doing now. So this is for the previous day, which is the New York session, 9:30 p.m. For me on Monday, which is 9:30 a.m. for you guys, or for the US, the New York session anyway. Anyway, so that level is set. Was it a short? Must have been a short day yesterday, because that's only going from must have been to 1 o'clock. So 9:30 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So anyway, I don't know what that was all about, but it must have been a day off or a bank holiday or something, or half day anyway. So that level is okay. Previous day value high is up here. The previous day POC is here. And the previous day value low is here, which just needs a little buzz, a little touch up. And we've got the previous day value low down here. Not the previous day, so the overnight value low here, which is 6 a.m. for me, 6 p.m. for you guys, which is out by a minute. Let me just fix that. Is that out by a minute? I don't know. 6 p.m. your time, 6 a.m. my time, to 9:29. So that one's fine. Overnight value low is way out. Okay. The overnight POC and the overnight value high. Okay, so we're all set, and the weekly is way down here, because we've had a couple of moves, a move or two yesterday. So our weekly values are way down here. That's the previous weekly value high down there. I don't know. Whoops. That one. That one's right. Previous weekly POC is way down there. And the previous weekly value low is way down there. So we don't have to worry about those unless something drastic comes about. So we're back up here. So we've got our historical levels all mapped out, all painted out. So now it's just a matter of the current session, which is here, which we start at 6 p.m. your time or 6 a.m. my time, and we'll monitor that for the day. So we want the levels extending right, so we don't have to move them every 5 minutes. Okay, so that's what we're playing with. So the move happened already for the previous value lows, already tagged, and they have gone down, hit the overnight value low, and they move straight up. So those two targets have already been hit, but let's have a look, see what happens. And before that, at 6:20, there was a move off the POC. Off the previous day POC, I should say, which went up, hit the fair value gap. So there was a bit of a move still to go up to these levels, but it didn't get there. It set up the value for the session, the developing session. It set some value up here. So I suspect at some point we'll probably go up to reach these targets before looking at what's going to happen later in the day for my time anyway, for the London session. Whoa, sorry about my voice. Okay, so where are we right now? So right now, so what was yesterday? If someone wants to put in the chat, what was yesterday's? Okay. Oh my god, I keep missing these moves. Sorry guys. Still setting up. Okay, so we are at the overnight value low. Interesting level. Interesting candles. I really want to get in a trade here if I can. Yesterday I streamed for 2 hours, didn't make a move, so it just was not hitting any of my levels that I had set. I missed that move, I think. Because the move happened already, well, sort of. I think I want to get in a move here, if I'm quick enough. I'm going to long, if it gets to my level again. What's that give me? Alright, so that's where I want to be. I want to be under that. But I haven't got... There's not much room here for... There's 50 ticks exactly, pretty much. If I can get in here, I will get in here. 892, 892, 892. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to go in here for a buy. If I can...
Order filled.
Alright, I'm going to go in and buy here. Just a sneaky little one. See how we go.
Order working.
And my level out will be about 904. 904. Hang on, is that right? .904. Hang on, I don't know if... Get out about
Order
there.
working.
Alright, let's see how we go here. Let me bring Tradeovate into this. I'm just trying to sync up my Tradeovate. So you can see the trade on here. Anyway, I'm in 904, 879. It's just hovering around the value low, so this could go over way. Let's see if it's got one leg left up. Okay, so what am I trading? I am trading, I don't know if you can't. I've got to set up Tradeovate a little bit better than. Okay, so basically what I'm trading 3 50k accounts. This is Apex accounts. 3 50k Apex accounts and 150k Apex accounts. So I'm copy trading those 4 accounts. So we shall see. Only a little base hit, sort of, just to start the stream off. But we'll see how we go. Don't really like that candle, if I'm being honest. Come on, just push up once, surely. I haven't had a chance to look at the news. Don't know what's gone on overnight. That's not good.
Stop filled.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not a good start to the morning.
Order cancelled.
Well, we got lower lows, so not exactly going to hit a. No, one down for the day. I hope no one's copy trading me. As you see, I can lose. Yes, I had an okay session in the end after London opened. I had no trades yesterday for 2 hours, just watching the thing go up. I just could not get in any trades yesterday. Still like a long here, to be honest. Hit this level, bounce down. I'm going to go in again, I think. Reason being, there's just nothing to target down here. Closest thing is the previous day. Previous day lows. Yeah, that might have been the move, and I missed it. slingshotting around everywhere. Yeah. If I get a retest down here, I will go in again. But this large candle here sort of there's a pretty strong candle down. Normally I sort of wait a bit here, but anyway, I got a bit, thought I'd have one move left in there, but it did not eventuate, unfortunately. Alright, for now we are sort of bearish. I just want to see what the reaction is on this level again. Alright, now for those that do watch my trading, I map out or paint out the orb for the 7 AM, which is another reason why I shouldn't have been in that trade. So 7 AM my time, 7 PM your time, is what I like to call the Australian Open. Basically the Australian Open is basically any time from open, which is 6 PM your time, 6 AM my time, to now. But the 7, I trade using just the orb, which is the open range breakout. I just like to use that as my levels for getting, not so much getting in and out on the breakout, but using these levels for my entries. So if an entry like that is within the orb, I use the structure of the orb, and using the higher time frame levels that I've mapped out from overnight and previous day and weekly, I use these levels to map out my entries. And hopefully I get to show you that. So what I'm monitoring is my level still, and I'm probably looking again here for a long off this level. So I'm going to play that if I get there again. What I like to do is use my, so anywhere from here, if I get another chance at it, is use the orb levels for the trade. So something like that. But because we're up here at the because we're up here at the newly developed session that's still developing, it's a bit of a toss-up if I want to trade this, so because there's only a movement of 40 ticks, but my stop level is way down here. So I'm a bit hesitant because there's not much movement there. What might Alright, so I'm going to go in here.
Order filled. Order working.
And I'm going to get it out at 900. Why is that so different?
Order working.
$876. 889. Okay. I'm probably doing a bit of a risk here within the orb. Normally I'd like to wait for it to structurally get out of this structure, like a traditional orb, which is the open range breakout. But I just want to have a bit of a win. So what I'm using here, I sort of, rather than hit here, we're basically ranging in here. So I've hit the midpoint of that range and hoping for it to hit the top of the orb. No, it's a bit of a risky trade. Just want to get on the board. Like I said, I normally wait for this orb to be set up. So I do this for the 7 o'clock. Now, here we go.
Stop filled.
Fuck. Okay. That's not good. Start 2 losses before friggin' 7:30. I'm breaking all my rules. But that's okay. So what's that? $500. I'm breaking a few rules today, guys. First rule is wait for the orb to be set up, wait for it to be breaking, and then set up your trades. So the day is still young. I've only lost 500. That's fine. These are evals. These are my evals. I'm trading, like I think I finished speaking before, but I'm trading I'm trading 3 50k accounts, copy trading 3 50k Apex accounts and 150k account. So they're evals, so I'm happy to take on a bit of risk. I'm basically at even at 50k mark. I was up yesterday. So I've got a fair drawdown left. I've got 1500 drawdown, so that's fine. I'm a bit slow with, normally it takes me, I don't know, 4 or 5 days to pass the accounts or lose the accounts. But I've been lingering with these ones since last Thursday, I think. So anyway. So at the moment, structurally, the market is looking bearish. So right now the moves are down. I've had a couple of shots at it going up, but there's no structure setting up for highs at the moment. So maybe we are looking at going down lower. I just don't know where we're looking at targeting. We're a long way off these areas, but maybe that is where it wants to go. Okay, now yeah, so we haven't broken the orb yet. So anyone who sort of looked at the orbs, most people wouldn't use the orb in the Asia sessions. They like to use it for the New York session, which obviously makes more sense. There's a lot more volatility, but I don't actually use it to set up the actual structure broken, like when the orb structure is broken, I like just using it for my entry points around the higher time frame points of interest overnight and previous day levels or weekly levels. Anyway, I just wanted to inside, whilst we're still inside the orb, because we could sit inside the orb and just for a couple of hours sometimes. Sometimes there's not much volume in the Asian session, so we can just chop it. Could be just a chop fest between these areas. So anyway, I played it wrong, so there's nothing I can say about that. On to the next trade though. So we have broken out of the orb. But first move out of the orb is sometimes just a little enticement for us stupid retailers to think the market's definitely going low, and then it whipsaws around, and rather than low, it'll start going higher. So anyway, we shall see. The market's still setting up. Still very early on. And Mr. AJ has been hit with the bit of FOMO bug. Yesterday, all I did was look at the charts, and she was going higher. So I didn't really look at too many shorts yesterday. There was nowhere to short, and at the start of the day, there was nowhere to long because it was just going up, up, up. Alright, so I'll have a bit more patience on the next trade because I want to make the next trade a winner, and I'll probably target it a bit harder and probably look for two, try and get in with two contracts so I just feel we're going to test these levels before we go down, properly go down. None of this stuff has been hit yet, so that's why I shouldn't have a bias. I should be just reading the chart, but my sort of bias is up for starters, long for starters. So what I would like to see is just a movement up through here, break the orb initially, and maybe a retest, hopefully down here. But I think I won't start a long until I see this level broken. So this sort of level broken. What else is on my chart? So it's definitely bearish. Definitely bearish. Maybe the right move is off this level even. Looking for shorts. It's just not enough meat in it. What have I got on my chart? So it is a little messy, I must admit. I love looking at people's look. I don't look at many YouTubers, but I love looking at YouTubers, and they've got just a clean chart, and all they're doing is price movement / candles. but I need a bit more on my chart. So unapologetic, but my chart is probably a little messy than still looking pretty strong down. Alright, now we're getting a bit of structure below the orb. More inclined to like a trade off the value low here, the overnight value lows, but it just didn't make sense. The first moves, not from there anyway. But now we've got a bit of structure setting up and building, developing. So I guess that's why it's no use having a bias, because it never pays out. Just trade the levels. So if we revisit our value lows here.
Order cancelled.
Well, where was that set? 896. I was on the wrong side of that. That's a nice move. So what are we waiting for really here? Because I'm on the wrong side of this, I am going to be a bit more patient. And I'll probably end up waiting till Tokyo opens, which is in 40 minutes. Oh, hang on guys, I've got to check this, sorry. This has nothing to do with trading, but my football side has just sacked their coach, I think. And my wife in Australia, who knows nothing about football, hates football in fact, or hates all sport, is the one that notifies me of a big move. Hang on, sorry guys. Where is it? Good. Okay. Sorry. I indulged there for a moment. Okay. Where are we? Okay. So I was all over that trade on the wrong side. It's a pretty good move though. What are we up to? 38 points. $50 points from the overnight value lows. Well, I hope some of you guys got on that. Not my way, not my my trade, but hopefully some of you guys saw the opportunity to get in short. And to be honest, hopefully you've still got one running there. A contract or two still running, hopefully, because that's not slowing down in a hurry. Where are all yesterday's buyers? Let's gone to bed early, I think. Alright, well this is the first green candle. Now I did run, for those that also know, I built a little AI tool that I just set up for a roadmap. I throw in all the charts, an hour, the hourly, the 15 minute, the 5 minute and the 1 minute, and it gives me a little summary of what we're looking for today, or for this session anyway. So I built that at about 6:30. So it was already telling me there that I was in a B-shape pattern forming, which would have been this. Well, sorry, it would have been around here. So it would have been this building. So that was already an indication that we're looking at building a bit of structure low, which is a B-shaped structure. But this was early on, only half an hour worth of data. What are you doing, AJ? So it was building this kind of structure, suggesting lower. But I was more going off where it was likely to head. So that's why I was thinking we were looking at testing these lows and bouncing off. Anyway, we all know how that thinking played out. What else is it saying? Saying why it formed this way. Late longs trapped above previous day value low. So that was in this area. And what was this telling me first move should be? Oh, there you go. Should have followed Mr. AI. Shorts at PD value low. Okay, well that was earlier. Take profit on value low, which would have. Short at the equilibrium rejection. Alright, so I should have probably looked at Mr. AI first. Alright. I was getting a bit cocky with the AI tool that I run every day, and lately it's just been exactly saying what I already had in my thought plan, except for today. I might just run one more. Bear with me. I might just give this an update. Sorry guys, just bear with me. So, and that's looking bare, like it might even be a bear flag setting up here. Okay, fair enough. Right, let me just get back into. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to set up TraderVate and TradingView so I can run another AI report just on the updated talk amongst yourselves. Tell me what's going on with the market while I run this. Okay. For starters, did I execution marks? Just trying to, for starters, just trying to sink in TraderVate into my TradingView chart, which sometimes a bit finicky. Anyway, whatever. Okay. Alright. Doesn't want to do it. Again. Alright, so I'm just running the AI, my AI tool again. See if I've got any setups. Okay. Yeah, so basically it's saying the same thing. Look for a retest back up here. My AI tool's biased a bit because it's how I've set it up. What I did, I ran 2 years worth of data, so 2 years worth of 1 minute data on the Nasdaq, and told it how I trade, and it's given me quite some good information for the Asia session and London session. I just really run it based on Asia and London. I don't trade the New York. What to watch for within its summary, like its setup summaries. So it's really just telling me to look for a short basically off here. I'll retest back up and a short initially. Back up there just for a quick scalp, and then, well, doesn't give me the next setups, but then I'll probably really be basing on if we break this again. I'll have lost my third trade, which is a pain in the ass, but that's fine. But I'll probably be looking for a lower, higher low here for a bit more chance of going up into the longs. I still think this is ultimately where we're going. So I still have got that little bias, but suddenly this area is maybe looking a bit closer now than what it was before. What is that? It's still nearly 100 points away. So something like this is what I'm looking at personally. Maybe go up into here. Maybe it and then down, and that's my target here, or off here even. So set up down here somewhere, and then up here, something like that. So whether I wait and trust this move back down again, or it just goes straight through and makes this move, I'll watch for the candle action on our overnight value low. So we'll see how it goes. But that'll be my last trade. If I lose 3 trades in a row, I'm out. The AJ will be out for the day, and I'll come back tomorrow. But no, mate, I'll probably have a look at London. Wow. My poor football club. We're on the bottom of the ladder. Now we just got rid of our coach, which is good in a way. Anyway, no one even knows what game I'm talking about, so we shall leave it there. What else has been happening overnight? So, no news events until Thursday. So there's a bit of clear air there. Okay. Gold gains as prospects of Iran deal temper inflation concerns. Okay. I don't really trade gold. I have, and I do, and I probably will, but I'm trying to get my head around Nasdaq. So I'm concentrating all my effort on Nasdaq. Bit about me. I've actually coming more from a crypto background. I've been in crypto since 2017 through the dark old ICO days, if anyone knows those times. So my background is the last 3 years I've been a bit over 3 years. I've been trading full-time crypto. I still do crypto, but I just wanted to open up another pillar of income and do some real trading. Not that I call prop firm trading real trading. So manipulated. I reckon it's more manipulated than bloody crypto sometimes. Crypto, for me, is a little easier just because it's so technical. It just follows the technical, like the technical structures and... But anyway, I won't talk about crypto. So yeah, I've been trading crypto for over 3 years full time. But I've been in crypto since 2017, so I've seen a bit in the crypto market. So yeah, I had a bit of I liquidated, because I trade crypto with real money, my real funds, and I had a bit of I had a liquidation of my account last year, and I thought, you know what, I want to still do crypto because that is what I do, but I want to have another pillar of income. So I thought, let's look at the futures. So I've been trading the futures since October, November last year. I'm living in I'm living in Southeast Asia at the moment, but I'm living between Australia, my home country, and Southeast Asia. And at the moment I am in Southeast Asia for the time being. The only problem with the prop firms, I was trading with Lucid and what's the other one, Take Profit Trader, solely in Australia. So I took a couple of payouts there, which is all good. So I'm still ahead, although I have spent a bit on bloody Apex trades, Apex accounts. But once I got to Southeast Asia, they took away the opportunity to... I couldn't... Basically, where I am, Philippines, they banned Take Profit Trader, or they banned Philippines, if you're in the Philippines, from using Take Profit Trader and Lucid. So my alternative was Apex. Apex, I've got no problems. So I am trading Apex. And Apex accounts, to be honest, aren't too bad. I haven't really got any problems with them. And the good thing is I can copy trade up to 20 funded accounts. So I've got 5 funded accounts with Apex, and I'm hoping to get up to 15, another 15. So to have that 20 accounts, but I'm struggling to get these last few funded accounts. So here we are today. That is the goal, to have 20. Well, actually, it probably won't be 20. I'm now starting to trade. Here we go, we're back inside the orb. So let's see if this is a bounce off. And we come down, or we do hit that value low again. So what I'm doing is I'm copy trading 3 50Ks and 150K, and I plan on hopefully having 5 150K accounts, and I guess 15 50K accounts. That's the plan anyway. So I'm struggling with this little cold I've got. I don't know where I picked that up. Well, actually, I might do. I think I left because it's so bloody hot over here in Southeast Asia. It's 35 degrees, whatever that is in Fahrenheit. So I think the other night, I don't usually sleep with an air conditioner on, And just on the weekend, I think I did accidentally leave the air conditioner on, so I think that has given me a little bit of a bug. But we shall soldier on. Alright, so we are inside the orb. Now, the orb, again, I don't use it for setting. I don't use it to actually trade like a traditional orb trader would be, which is basically wait for breakouts and rejections off the lower levels. I use it for my setting up my trade off the historical these historical points of interest, and use it for take profits and setting up stop losses, so outside level for a stop loss, that sort of thing. And normally it sort of seems to go pretty well. Did that candle, so that candle actually did. So I just want to see the reaction around here. If this goes flying through, maybe we've flipped and we might be a bit more bullish into getting into this area. So this candle will tell me it all. Or next candle actually. 20 seconds. So if it flies through, I'll actually wait for a retest and see what happens. So let's watch, just see if there's a bit of structure set up around here. These levels do look enticing for me. So whilst you have a bias in the back of your head, you can't let that flow. You gotta just judge what's in front of you on the chart. I just don't want to be tricked. I'm a bit more hesitant now because I don't want to be presuming something and have a third loss if I can help it. I still want this move. We shall see. So until it goes outside the orb, I'm not bullish just yet. When I say bullish, basically just to hit this target here, really. Ideally I want to see it hit here and come back inside. If it hits here, it's an indication that there is a bit of strength in the market still. Great. Looks like I'm going to miss that short, aren't I? Come back here. So that's sort of off this developing node here. So setting up the stop loss is fine. It's just taking profit. Alright, so what are we going to do here? So the developing POC has moved up slightly. So that's what I was explaining earlier. What's on my chart? That first move was down by the looks. So if I'd have waited for all that to just play out, then I would have been probably in this trade. Alright, so that's okay. I've missed that. Alright, so back to my original plan, which was to wait for this sort of setup. Lower high down here, rather than come back down and sweep this area again. Because if it comes straight back down and sweeps this, we're going to be bearish for a lot longer. Come down here, bounce off here, and go back into the orb, spend a bit of time in the orb. But it looks like I will be waiting for 8 o'clock, which is 10 minutes away, 8 minutes away. Wow. So how's everyone else's trading morning/evening going? Hopefully you guys are doing better than me. So where was I before? I think I was just explaining what's on my chart. So yes, my chart's messy. I think that's where I got to. What I like to have on my chart is basically the SMA 200, so the MA 200 and the MA 50s. So the 200, the 50. So even that's telling me we're bearish in a sort of, or we're below the these points. So I should be looking at bearish, having a bit of a bearish mindset. But anyway, that's fine. I have the VWAP, which is here, and even that we are below, but the VWAP I use as a magnet, and that is telling me it's up here. So what I like, especially with these sort of when it's a long way away, it seems to be the magnet for where the market will be pulled into. So it is above and we are obviously below, so I would expect the market at some point to start targeting that area. Like, obviously the longer we're low or we're bearish, this VWAP will start continuing to go down, but it's flatlined here, but still it's a good target. It's a good indication of where the market likes to try and get back to. So we shall see. But again, I don't want to trade this straight off this, which this could very well happen, that we get a large candle straight up through here and it just keeps going up. So ideally what I want to see here is it hit here, actually does test a breakout, but comes back into this level. So I haven't set any buy limits because I don't want to just trade from here, because this is still developing and there's no breakout. So I'm not bullish. I'm still sort of bearish really at the moment. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I've got the VWAP. I've got fair value gaps. I don't trade from those again. I use those for setting up stop losses and take profits more than anything. So I don't really follow smart money concepts as such, but I do respect these for just to help me get out of trades and into trades, if that makes sense. So anyway, yep. So the other thing I have got is Luxalgo's smart money concepts, but I don't even use this anymore, to be honest. What am I using? I've just got levels actually. I've just got it really showing the breaker structure, the change of character stuff. I do like to see this. So I have probably got over indicators on there, but I like having my mind seems to work better on a global picture rather than just like clean sort of straight setup. So I sort of need to have in the back of my head. So that's just a bit of experience, I guess. But if I've got all of that, this is all I really need to trade and know the picture of what I'm trading with. So yeah, so I'm a bit indecisive now which way I'll go here. We've done a few of these retests off the overnight value low, but now I've got in my head that are we going higher? So I guess this is where having too much stuff on the chart does play into that. What's the word? Procrastination. You sit on waiting for too much information and it sometimes stops you from getting trades. But that is just how my mind works, so I have to go with that. Alright, so we're inside the orb. We are testing outside again. So that would have been an okay trade. To be honest, what I'm hoping for is probably my ideal setup would be as I said, go out, break out, come back down into here, so I can test along here, and I'll probably be going in with 2 contracts. So I'm a bit hesitant on doing a second, well, it's actually a third short. Well, no, I was longing, wasn't I? So it's actually a third test of the value low down. So I'm a little hesitant, because if I wanted that, I should have been doing it from these earlier. But that would have worked. That would have worked. Alright, so anyway. So back to this plan, I guess, for now. So as long as we don't sweep here, if we sweep here, we're staying low. And so really the next targets are the weeklies. What is that? Yeah, so that's the previous day low. Yeah, it's not going to get down there. That's the previous day high. Yeah, that's the previous day high, sorry. I know, I'm moving my chart a bit too much, don't I? Sorry, guys. Okay, so patience, AJ, patience, AJ. Okay. Alright, so, no, still wants to go low. Still bearish. Hasn't swept. But notice that's gone straight down to our newly formed session low. Or value low. That would have been a nice move. I wanted 2 contracts, but I wouldn't have got him with 2 contracts there. But that would have been nice. Because really, I might have got out there. See the... I'm just looking if I would have kept the runner going, but... probably would have got out here. Because I would have... What I'm hoping for is having 2 contracts going, have a take profit target of 1 getting out, moving my stop loss on the second contract down to break even, and letting it run, and trailing down the runner. So I was just seeing if I was even in that trade. All hindsight now, because I wouldn't have been in it, but yeah, so I would have probably been out here on this one, moved to break even and monitored that. So I could have got down to here-ish probably, and then I would have been stopped out here, which would have been a nice little move. Now, just while I was I'll just finish off. So we've got a double bottom here. So everything's pointing to going lower. The other thing I target. Oh, we're at Tokyo. We're at Tokyo Open, aren't we? When was that? Oh, okay. That's why. Tokyo wanted to take it down further. What Tokyo wants, Tokyo usually gets. So the best I can hope for is... Have I got Tokyo set? Asia, yeah. So we'll have a new 5-minute orb for Tokyo. Now this again, this is a tool I've built for just monitoring the orbs, but there'll be heaps of indicators that you can use. I've got a bit of a programming background. Okay, so here's the orb set up now. So we've got a double sort of orb. The Tokyo one hasn't broken out, so it will be the stronger. It'll be what I'm using for as the strongest breakouts. I will still use the Australia pre-Asia breakout again, really for the same things, which is setting up stop losses and take profits. But I just visually like having that there. Just show me just points of interest, what the market's doing. So again, I'm still not bullish, obviously. I'm bearish at the moment. Until it breaks out of this orb, I'm not going to try and do any longs. I'm not going to long from these areas because there's no historical, no high time frame / historical points of interest for me to have and trade with confidence. So whilst we've got a developing value low range sitting down here, it's still only a couple of hours old, so I'm not going to use that. Later in the day, the older this value or the older this session profile gets in terms of data, I'll use it into London, but I won't use this really for now. It's just still developing. Setting up some nice little levels, like there's a good level there. There's a bit of a level there, but I presume the more we're down here, well, not presume, but it will, this POC will start sort of floating downwards. So the next POC level might push down to here. So we have swept the lows, earlier session lows. And this is what Asia likes to do. It likes to sweep the lows, the previous day lows, or the previous day levels anyway. But it also likes to sweep these areas, the overnight and previous day highs as well. We shall see if there's enough strength in the market to do that. So the market continues to build structure down here though. It's just going to be interesting seeing if we do break out here, and it's a real breakout, which, well, it's starting to look like it is. That's a good candle out of the orb level low. So if I was trading this from these levels, this is how I use the orb. I'll just explain. Look, I'm not going in these trades, but these are the things I look for. Now that's a big range, so I would probably have to do 100. So this is just an idea how I use the orb. Ideally I want to be above the orb, but obviously this is ranged 46 points. And there she goes. Off she goes. Now this previous day high I don't mark on the chart. Because it just is the highest point. So there could be reactions here. And if I was in a trade and I was looking for just a point of interest just to get out of the trade, that might be one of my targets. So that's actually Friday's. Where are my previous weeks? Yeah, so my previous weeks are way down here. That is Friday's previous day high. That's not yesterday's high. I don't think. Yeah, so this is the previous day. This is the previous day value highs up here. That's Friday's. This is Lux Algos. I don't know what it's actually painting that Friday's high. Anyway, I'll keep it on for now, but I don't really trade that as a point of interest for setting up trades anyway. Okay, and just to finish off what's on my chart, I have a volume oscillator here measuring the strength of candles. So these red candles are measuring the strength of volume in the candles, or in that trade, in that 1 minute candle there. And what they signify is that institution buyers are in these trades. It's not just us retailers. It's a 1 minute candle with strength. Is Mr. Market Maker or Mrs. Market Maker just signifying that they're in the market, they're playing. So there's a little there's a little bit of action actually. We don't normally get that. Oh well, we do, because this is Tokyo. So I use that just to keep a check on who's at play, because they're the ones controlling the direction of these candles. So this is a bearish candle low, and what this is doing, in my eyes and my just experience, it's institutions just saying, hey, retailers, we want to go low, come and follow us, because that's all it's doing. It's enticing retail action into the market. So one candle, two candles, pushes it down low, sweeps some equity down here. There's obviously some equity sitting up down there, and now retails, this is more smoothed out sort of volume candles. This is retail saying, no, we want to take it higher though, which is really the market makers just setting this up because they want it. They're doing this to test and to push the market. So as much as I think I might be able to chuck in a couple of trades and hope that it goes here, I've got no chance. None of us have. None of us retailers can. And certainly not my little one mini contract pushers aren't going to move the market. These guys are the ones moving the market, whoever these guys are. So what am I looking for? I'm really looking for... So I'm even lower in confidence on this setup happening. Still think it'll happen, but it's not going to play out now whilst we're still bearish. If we hadn't swept these lows, I would have still been looking for that. But now I am purely looking for shorts. And really, if I wanted to do a couple of risky trades, these sort of are the levels where I would look. Maybe off there, to be honest. So just set up underneath. There's one here. So push once, if it breaks through that, it'll come into here, and this is our stop. Well, not our stop, but that's so maybe something like this. Oh. 50 something like that, and have my stop loss above that. That's probably what I'd be looking for my trade if I go in this. Now this breaks all my rules because I only usually want to use these levels to get behind these levels, but I realize this is going to be a boring stream, and I really want to have a win. At least one. AJ, have one win. So I'm only sitting on an eval, so I don't really care. I'll only do probably one contract, so it's only another 250 odd. So it's sort of in between, but that will break that. The only other one I could look at is something like that maybe. So be behind this node level there. Maybe even that actually. Potentially something like that. It's a bit more risk. So using the equilibrium of the orb, the Tokyo orb, 5-minute orb. So look for a bounce off that. You know what? I'm going to do that. So set up a short here.
Order working.
And where do I want that? At 8:59.
Order working.
Just one contract, and that will do me. If I lose that, then it's not my day. See, I don't know if anyone knows the history of sort of what I'm doing live streams for, but selfishly, it's not for you guys. That sounds bad, I know, but I'm really just trying to straighten myself up. I have been over trading, and I thought, you know what, I want to make myself accountable, so I'm going to set up a live stream and hopefully stop some over trading, which did start to creep into my my trading. So I'm hoping I'm taking better setups and not as many. But here I go, trading against my strategy already, but that's all right. It's not a revenge trade, I don't think. Maybe it is. That's the other thing I want to try and get out of my game. But anyway, let's see how this plays out. So the idea of this trade is we're still bearish. Check. I'll get in off this fair value gap, which is sort of this area here, which is probably a good area to bounce off if it's going to still continue lower. Okay. So I'm not really using this really, other than knowing that, okay, the market is coming down. The session profile is setting up and becoming more bearish. That's all I'm really using it for. But see how it's already starting, because there's a bit of data sitting in this area, because we've had a fair bit of accumulation here. It is a strong point here in the even in this early part of the session. But if I can just get a wick through to this fair value gap here, which is this candle here, which is 821, 820. So around this level. So it makes sense to, this trade does make sense in my mind, but we shall see. We shall see what it does. Now guys, whilst I've had heaps of trading experience, I am still grasping and learning the how NAS works, especially in the Asian session. So I've been doing it for, well, I've basically been doing the Asia session. Even when I was in Australia, I was doing it. So I've had sort of 6 months-ish, 6 months sort of experience doing Asia, but over 3 years of full-time trading, and before that I was doing a fair bit of trading as well. So since 2017 I've sort of been in the crypto markets, but now I am trying to also, whilst I'm still doing the crypto markets, I still want to try and make some decent coin in the NAS futures as well. So I have a couple of pillars of income whilst I'm traveling over here in the Southeast Asia area. I'll head back to, I might be heading back to Australia next month. Actually, probably just for a few weeks. I'm starting to get a bit sick of Australia. That sounds bad. All my family's there and friends are there, but I really like Southeast Asia. Low cost of living, live a bit like a king. and no politics. I'm so over politics, Western politics. So I'm seeing some stuff in Australia I don't really like. My wife's still living in Australia. My kids they're a bit older now, so they're sort of leading their own lives. But my wife is still still working and looking after a couple of dogs. So the plan is she'll move over later in, if not this year, maybe start of next year. That's the plan. And I'd like to set up a base over here. I've got a base here in the Philippines where I am, in Manila. Really like Manila. It's got some third world stuff outside the perimeters where I am, but it's very Western where I'm actually living. But if you do travel, there is some third world stuff that isn't great, but I don't mind helping the people here. They're not lovely people. They speak English. That was one of the main reasons I chose Philippines over Thailand, Vietnam. Love Thailand. Love the food in Thailand. But just the English barrier, I can't be bothered learning. I'm too old to friggin' worry about learning another language. The local language Tagalog here has rubbed off on me a bit. I know a few words here and there, but I'm not. They speak such good English here that I don't really need to learn there. I know it's bad. I should learn it if I want to spend a bit of time here, but I just haven't got the energy to learn the language. And the thing is, even when I start talking Tagalog, or attempting, the locals feel your pain, so they just go straight into English anyway. So, and I figure, you know what? I'd rather teach you guys English if you need English rather than me being taught. So, what's going on here? So we're building up a lot more volume in this area. So we're still bearish. I just want it to wick through, just a little wick through, and then bounce down, and I'll be happy with that. Depending on the action here, I'll probably hold off setting a take profit just yet. Okay, go, my friend. Don't go too high though. Just bounce, just hit here. Okay, so I'm in. And I really want to set 822. 822. Okay, for now I will...
Order working.
Okay, we've got a bit of strength here. That's a pretty bullish candle. Hopefully we reject. And I'm just above that. Okay, so look, here's what it is. If it just keeps going up and blasts through here, so be it, but I'm okay with the entry. And we shall see how it goes. Now the only thing I've really got left is this equilibrium of the orb. If it stays below its bearish in this sort of time frame anyway, if it hits above, we start entering into bullish. So usually the 50 equilibrium is a point of where people do set a stop loss, and in this case I'm going to do that as well, because it does tend to be a point of interest at a retracement, whatever, just the actual level. So, but if it does go above it, so be it. So that will be a 750 loss for Mr. AJ for the session if I do lose this one. So I'm taking on a bit more risk here with my take profit, but once I see what it's doing down here, I might just take profit. I just want to let it run a little bit longer if I can, just to get a little bit of 817. So I am under a bit. 817. We shall see if it goes down here. So I hope no one's copy trading me, because I didn't want to see that. Oh dear. No regrets, no regrets. There's always tomorrow. It's only an eval. So if I lose that 250, I will still have 250. I'll still have 1200-ish left. Drawdown. That's alright. I can do some damage tomorrow with that. If I last till tomorrow. Knowing me, I might come back to London. You know what? If you want to see that outcome, maybe I'll do that. I'll open up in London. I'll go live in London. So I either kill the... I've only got 1,000 drawdown on these, so maybe I won't. That's the only thing with the new Apex accounts. There's 1,000 drawdown, 1,000 daily drawdown, which is a bit of a pain, but in some ways it's probably a good thing. Alright, so let's go down. One more test down. Outside the orb. Want to go outside the orb. $858. Yep. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Little bull flaggy, but what can you give me, Mr. Market Maker? So if we want to go, if we still want to be bearish for the remainder of this session, we probably need to sweep this area, sweep these lows. Otherwise, we start heading back up, I would suggest. and get back into these areas, which is so much easier to trade. But I want to do something for the stream and hopefully have a bit of a win, but this isn't really giving me much confidence. If this breaks that, I think I'm done. Don't break, don't break. You broke. You're not listening. And that does not look good. So the only thing really left for me is this equilibrium, if that's a point of interest where it wants to retrace from. Otherwise, I am stuffed. So our 50 MA is coming up pretty fast. So if we can break here, still in it, but has to get through this. Has to do a bit of work here to get through this area. This is just showing a bit more strength building. Come on, just push down. One more candle down and I'll give me one little win. Do 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 do. Unless we break here, I am going to be in trouble. Alright, so we're just going to build a bit of value around the POC. The current session POC. Which again, I don't care about really at the moment. It's still developing. But the longer it builds... there we go, so we have gone through there. Let's just go through. Oh, we've got a bit of work to get through here still. 817. And that one actually. I want to get out there. 21. Not great, but I think I'll just hopefully take my wind here. So this is that's a good indication of a point where it will bounce off, so I may as well try and forerun that. If that wasn't there, I'd be sort of hoping I would not take profit. I would actually be probably controlling, moving this up and down to take a bit of a gamble where this was going to and I'm only doing this because I've had 2 losses, so alright, so you know what, I'm just gonna take this.
Order filled.
That's alright.
Order cancelled.
I want to be out of that trade. Well, that's okay, because that gives me a bit of ammunition for... what's the time? So the next area I would look for is... Well, the next area I would monitor is the... what is the time? The 9 a.m. my time, 9 p.m. your time, which is the China Open. But I've only got 40 views at the moment sitting there, so obviously I've dropped off a bit in viewers. So will I stay? Will I go? All right, so I will probably be... I don't want to trade anymore outside my areas. My areas are up here. So if London is heading back up, or if Asia is heading back up, I'll trade, and I will have a look at setting up a London session. But I'll just check on that later. So look, if anyone's interested in learning what I do, hopefully there's a bit more action up here, and it'll be a bit better. A bit better area to trade from once I'm back up here. If it's down here, it's not really where I want to trade, so I'm happy to sit out. I forced some trades there, especially that last one, but funny enough, that one did okay. So rather than force trades, I'd rather just wait for the market to hit back up here, but that's a fair way off for now. So guys, I might leave it there, and I might see you in the London session, depending on what action we get up here. But I've had that last win, so I'm back with some potential. Well, I've got a bit more drawdown left, so I want to trade these accounts till their completion. Hopefully I'll do that today, one way or the other. Not so much maybe getting them funded today, but at least getting back on track with them, and I'll trade hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow I can start looking at getting these accounts funded. So anyway, I shall leave you guys there. Good luck. Hope the session does what you guys want it to, and we shall leave it there. All right, thanks guys.